Snow blankets the Ardennes silence, thick shadows shifting oddly. Squad halts, senses screaming something unseen, stalking every step. Frosted breath rises, rifles grip tight, peripheral shadows flit. Anticipation hangs like fog, heartbeats echoing in frozen woods. A twig snaps unnaturally close, no wind, no animal. Eyes' dark glances exchange fear, palpable in the still white forest. Footprints appear irregular, too large, leading nowhere. Mystery pressing in minds, racing the forest, hiding truths it refuses to reveal. Low guttural growl echoes distant yet omnipresent. Unseen predator moving with impossible speed, tension coiled in every chest. Shadows twist between snow-laden pines, elongated, fleeting. Squad freezes instinctively, every nerve attuned to threat and uncertainty. Sniper raises rifle rounds, chambered eyes scanning. Movement impossible to track, terror tightening like steel around spines. Frost clings to packs and helmets, cold biting through gloves. Every snap of a twig, every shadow feels alive, waiting, watching, judging. A fleeting silhouette passes, shape undefined, limbs elongated. Vanishing instantly, leaving only disturbed snow and racing hearts. Dawn barely pierces forest pale light, revealing chaos. Missing comrades, impossible tracks, and the lingering presence of unknown menace. The unit gathers in the dim briefing room, maps spread, badges glint faintly. Discipline and focus palpable in the cold light. The youngest fidgets with gloves. The sergeant inspects Garans methodically, silent tension thick between the men. Recon Squad Delta, handpicked for covert ops, reconnaissance, survival. Reputation precedes them, yet silence dominates. Mission: infiltrate the Ardennes, track enemy movements, report anomalies. Victory measured in intel, not firefights. Squad leader moves among them, adjusting straps, checking helmets. Authority silent, commanding trust with each gesture. Medic secures ammo, first aid kits. Hands steady but trembling, slightly aware of unknown dangers that lie ahead. Maps mark patrol losses in red, men gone without trace. The squad absorbs it with stoicism and silent acknowledgement. Winter grips Ardennes. Snow drifts in wisps along floors, cold seeping in an enemy unseen yet deadly all the same. Training teaches reading forests. Twig snaps, shadow shifts. Each detail carries meaning, anticipation is survival. Sniper checks, scope adjusts elevation and windage. Ritual reinforcing control amid uncertainty, focus absolute. Radio specialist tests PRC-77, static hissing. Clear signals, rare reliability, a luxury Ardennes rarely grants. Packs balanced, rations and ammo checked. Every strap cinched, every clip counted, silent affirmation of readiness. Soldier sharpens combat knife, metallic rasp, slicing ambient quiet. Meditative grounding, preparing for unknown. Cohesion visible in gestures, pat on shoulder, nod of reassurance. Trust forged in drills now manifests under tension. Enemy positions, vague intelligence incomplete. Unknown lurks a specter, reminding them vigilance is survival. Leader pins notes, patrol routes, choke points, observation posts. Every mark a calculated gamble on fragmented intel. Forest outside alive with whispers familiar yet alien. Ardennes theater of war, both physical and psychological. Soldier adjusts ACOG equipped, M4A1 weight distributed. Muscle memory guides each motion, silent conversation. Glance exchanged, wordless understanding, cohesion is survival. Hesitation is fatal, trust, absolute amid tension. Intel notes anomalies, missing units, silent radios. Squad absorbs knowledge, aware anomalies precede calamity. Maps folded, checklist reviewed. Fluorescent hum mirrors calm before storm. Every motion deliberate, precise. Youngest inspects boots, snow resistant, laced tight. Small details matter. Frostbite or slip could be fatal. Sergeant demonstrates radio hand signals, movement protocols. Actions rehearsed countless times, vital for survival. Snacks and coffee quietly consumed. Energy conserved, focus sharpened, routine, a fragile semblance of normalcy. Environmental briefing. Deep snow, reduced visibility, ice-covered ravines. Terrain intelligence partial but critical. Gloves strapped, helmets adjusted, harnesses tested. Preparation, physical and psychological, cementing readiness. Shadowy corners mirror forest gloom outside. Collective anticipation builds silence, holding tension like a pulse. Squad leader surveys, men no words spoken. Gaze communicates, stay alert, trust each other, survive together. Equipment distributed, extra mags, grenades, flares. Every item cataloged, nothing left to chance already. Final checks on helmet cams, coordinates logged. Recording active, every detail prepared, mission documented. Squad rhythm synchronized. Breath movement, glance gesture. One entity poised on edge of uncertainty. Mental preparedness emphasized. Worst case scenarios internalized, rehearsed, silently focused, sharpened. Briefing concludes, orders repeated, etched in memory. Clarity and brevity, tools for survival in unknown forest. Unit files out, boots, crunching frost and gravel. Outside forest awaits, unforgiving, enigmatic, indifferent. Anticipation carried in chest, duty, fear, resolve. Foundation set for Ardennes Memoir, disciplined men face unknown. Snow crunches under boots, forest silent. Distant crows and snapping twigs punctuate the squad's tense, careful march forward. Shadows flicker between trees, too swift to track fleeting peripheral visions, catching movement that vanishes instantly. Tracks appear in snow, irregular, far too large for any known boots. Squad halts, tension thickening like frozen fog. Wind whistles through pines, carrying low guttural sounds. Subtle, unnerving, forcing instinctive alert postures. The youngest notices bent branches, unnatural arcs. Patterns inconsistent with normal wildlife, raising quiet unease. Snow-laden boughs sway silently. Every step amplifies eerie stillness, forest pressing in like unseen watching eyes. A twig snaps behind, suddenly sharp and sudden. Squad freezes, scanning emptiness, nerves taut with anticipation. Frost gathers on weapons as misted breath rises. Cold intensifying every sound, heartbeat echoing mounting tension. Training hones reading forests. Twig snaps, shadow shifts. Anticipation becomes survival's sharpest quiet tool. Sniper adjusts scope, windage elevation. Ritual reinforcing control amid uncertainty, fingers steady, eyes scanning. Radio specialist tests, PRC-77, static hissing. Clear signals, rare reliability, a scarce, fragile Ardennes luxury. Packs balanced, rations and ammo checked. Every strap cinched, every clip accounted, silent readiness maintained. Soldier sharpens combat knife, metallic rasp, slicing quiet. Meditative grounding, preparing for unseen threats ahead. Cohesion seen in gestures, pat on shoulder, nod of reassurance. Trust forged in drills now manifests under tension. Enemy positions, vague intelligence incomplete. Unknown presence lingers, demanding constant vigilance and focus. Leader pins notes, patrol routes, choke points. Each mark a calculated gamble on fragmented intelligence, risk high. Forest alive with whispers familiar yet alien. Ardennes a theater of war, both tangible and profoundly psychological. Soldier adjusts, ACOG equipped, M4A1 weight distributed. Muscle memory guides each motion, silent, precise, efficient. Glances exchanged, wordless understanding. Cohesion is survival. Hesitation could be fatal, instincts sharpened. Intel notes anomalies. Missing units, silent radios. Squad-aware anomalies often precede imminent unseen danger. Maps folded, checklists reviewed. Fluorescent hum mirrors, calm before storm. Every motion deliberate, measured. Youngest inspects boots, snow-resistant, lace-tight. Frostbite or slip could prove fatal in frozen, treacherous terrain. Sergeant demonstrates radio hand signals, movement protocols. Rehearsed countless times now, vital for survival. Snacks and coffee quietly consumed. Energy conserved, focus sharpened, routine a fragile shield against creeping dread. Environmental briefing, deep snow, low visibility, ice-covered ravines. Terrain intelligence partial yet essential for success. Gloves strapped, helmets adjusted, harnesses tested. Preparation both physical and psychological, cementing readiness. Shadowed corners mirror forest gloom outside. Collective anticipation builds silence, holding tension like a tight pulse. Squad leader surveys, men know words spoken. Gaze communicates. Stay alert. Trust each other, survive together now. Equipment distributed, extra mags, grenades, flares. Every item cataloged meticulously, nothing left to chance at all. Final checks on helmet cams, coordinates logged. Recording active, every detail secured, mission documented carefully. Squad rhythm synchronized. Breath movement, glance gesture. One entity poised on the edge of imminent uncertainty. Mental preparedness emphasized. Worst case scenarios internalized, rehearsed, silently focused, sharpened under cold eyes. Briefing concludes, orders repeated, etched in memory. Clarity and brevity, tools for survival in the unknown forest. Unit files out, boots crunching frost and gravel. Outside forest awaits unforgiving, enigmatic, indifferent to all. Anticipation carried in chest, duty, fear, resolve. Foundation laid for Ardennes Memoir, disciplined men face unknown. Snow thickens, obscuring paths and landmarks. Squad struggles to maintain formation, each step slower. Nerves taut under gray oppressive skies. Radio crackles intermittently, static cutting words into fragments. Connection, tenuous, leaving squad, isolated anxiety creeping in with every step. Shadows dart between dense pines, too fast, too fluid. Peripheral glances catch movement, vanishing instantly, fear mounting silently. Low distorted howl carries through forest. Unlocatable primal triggering reflexes honed over countless drills in harsher conditions. Clearing ahead shows tracks diverging and irregular. Some lead nowhere, each step amplifying unease, uncertainty pressing in like snow. Frost collects on helmets, rifles, gloves. Cold bites deeper with each step, every snap of twig echoing like an unseen warning. Soldier trips over hidden route, glance up, sees shadows twist oddly. Fleeting shapes vanish, leaving lingering unease in frozen air. Sniper crouches, scope sweeping slowly. Peripheral shifts catch attention, yet nothing tangible appears, heart rate quickening. Static bursts from radio coincide with rustling, unnerving, disorienting, keeping squad alert, muscles taut and ready for movement. Branches scrape unnaturally against armor and packs. Arcs deliberate, producing tension coiled tightly like a steel spring under strain. Medic checks ammunition quietly, eyes darting constantly. Subtle signs of unease mirrored across entire squad, nerves stretched thin. Tracks cross previous paths unpredictably, gait impossible for human. Squad shares silent, wary glances, dread rising incrementally. Snow shifts under invisible weight, pressure marks deep and wide. Origin unknown, anticipation gripping every soldier in formation. Leader signals halt posture, rigid eyes scanning meticulously. Instincts scream unseen presence, nearby squad frozen ready for anything. Distant twig snaps closer than before, shadows flit and vanish, leaving only rapid heartbeats, taut muscles, and tense breathing. Peripheral glimpses of dark forms vanish when directly observed. Tension coils tighter, with each fleeting motion, dread mounting steadily. Linear disturbances in snow appear deliberate, untraceable. Unease grows, forest feels like a cage of unseen intent surrounding squad. Breaths held as squad moves cautiously, scanning every mound, ridge, and tree for anomalies or potential hidden threats ahead. Low guttural growls carried by wind, unidentifiable, almost mechanical. Primal caution grips minds and chests, focus heightened. Shadows deepen between trees, forms fleeting and ambiguous. Vanish upon focus, leaving doubt and heightened anxiety in frozen air. Boots crunch over hidden debris. Sudden peripheral movement triggers instant freeze, eyes scanning frantically for unseen assailant. Tracks curve in impossible arcs, no start or end, bizarre patterns. Squad studies silently, tension surging like ice through veins. Radio bursts static once more, coinciding with rustling nearby. Unnerving and disorienting morale quietly fraying under strain. Hand signals replace speech, eyes scanning continuously. Shadows twist oddly, anticipation mounting with every deliberate step forward. Clearing ahead seems empty, yet footprints stop abruptly, trailing into nothing. Unease radiates forest silence, thick and oppressive. Faint gurgling echoes through snow-laden underbrush, squad halts. Muscles tense, senses acutely aware of unseen entity. Snowdrifts shift oddly under invisible weight, subtle depressions forming. Origin unclear, primal fear rising steadily among men. Trees loom like silent sentinels, cold and imposing, squad moves, cautiously scanning angles, anticipating any unseen assault nearby. Frost fogs, goggles slightly, vision obscured, shapes shifting unpredictably. Squad slows each step, careful, deliberate, cautious. Sniper rests, hand on trigger, eyes scanning horizon continuously. Nothing concrete, yet tension rises, nerves taut like drawn wire. Branch cracks sharply behind them, sudden and jarring. Squad freezes, scans rapidly, coiled readiness held tightly in cold air. Snow disturbed in arcs along the slope, no clear footprints visible. Patterns inconsistent with human or animal passage, alarming all. Youngest soldier stumbles, slightly glances around. Fleeting motion in shadows, disappears as quickly as it arrived, unease growing. Squad tightens formation, instinctively silent agreement. Cohesion tested under unseen pressure, every instinct on high alert. Low, indistinct growl audible through trees, muffled by wind. Primal fear spikes alertness, heightening muscles tense for action. Snow crunches behind, yet no one is visible. Peripheral glimpses quicken heartbeats, nerves stretched to maximum tension. Frost builds on rifle barrels, breath rising in misted puffs. Every detail observed meticulously, the squad hyper-aware tension unrelenting. Tracks suddenly diverge, leading into dense thicket. Squad hesitates, fear of ambush, palpable frozen forest suffocating them close. Branches sway with no wind, shadows dancing oddly. Perception tricks merge with instinct, tension mounting as unease deepens. Frosted goggles, fog slightly shape shift unpredictably, shadows elongating. Squad slows careful, deliberate, every step measured. Sniper adjusts stance, eyes sweeping constantly. Nothing concrete, yet tension escalating, nerves stretched like taut wire. Radio sputters, static bursts loud and sudden, coinciding with rustling. Squad instantly alert, muscles, prime senses heightened. Peripheral flashes of black shapes vanish immediately upon focus. Squad acutely aware now, unease coiling into every chest. Snow disturbed in impossible patterns intersecting paths. Fear escalating forest seems alive with unseen malevolent intent. Squad halts at final clearing, oppressive silence thick and suffocating. Tracks, shadows, and faint sounds confirm unknown presence near. Shadows converge from all directions, moving unnaturally fast. Squad freezes, rifles, raised heartbeats pounding in icy chests. A guttural roar erupts nearby, deafening in forest silence. Branches snap violently, snow exploding under unseen force. Sniper fires instinctively, rounds crack sharply. Fleeting silhouette vanishes, tension escalating, fear gripping every nerve. Medic ducks, securing kit, eyes scanning frantic. A teammate disappears into shadows, leaving only echoing screams behind. Frosted breath hangs in air, snow disturbed violently. Impossible tracks surround squad, unseen predators circling silently. Sergeant shouts, hand signals commands fractured by fear. Squad reacts, forming tight defensive perimeter, muscles taut. Twigs snap unnaturally close, snow explodes under weight. Entity unseen yet omnipresent, closing in with terrifying speed. Young soldier collapses to knees, frozen in terror. Shadows move erratically, indistinguishable forms flanking squad from all sides. Radio static blares words indecipherable.
We lost communication.
Communication lost, isolation. Total panic, coiling tightly in every mind and muscle. Snow splashes as rifle strikes, ground clattering. Frost-bitten fingers tremble, adrenaline surging, senses heightened alert. Entity silhouette flashes, elongated and distorted. Impossible form moving with unnatural rhythm, predator aware of every motion. Sniper fires again, rounds ricochet, splintering wood. No hit confirmed, fear spreading, squad immobilized by unseen menace. Medic scrambles to help fallen comrade. Sudden shadow passes, teammate vanishes, leaving silence heavy with dread. Frosty wind carries low growling tones. Unidentifiable primal penetrating, chilling squad to bones, nerves coiled tightly. Branches crash down, snow explodes on impact. Entity unseen moving unpredictably, closing in on every perimeter point. Youngest soldier whispers, hand signals scanning frantically. Fear unspoken yet palpable, tension vibrating like steel wire. Snow distorts with every step, entity leaving impossible tracks. Squad follows cautiously, every breath, measured, eyes sharp. Shadows twist unnaturally, forming shapes that vanish instantly. Nerves shredded, fear compounded by indecipherable motion. Sniper lowers, stance, rifle raised, heart hammering. Peripheral vision catches impossible movement, nothing concrete visible. Low growl rises, chilling and omnipresent. Squad flinches, instinctive freeze, primal terror, overwhelming training and discipline. Medic moves toward injured, snow crunches suspiciously behind. Glance up, entity flits past, leaving terror etched into minds. Frost builds rapidly, obscuring vision, air biting. Every movement, deliberate, squad bracing for inevitable confrontation. Branches snap violently, snow sprays like shattered glass. Entity closing speed, impossible shadows flanking in chaotic arcs. Sergeant signals defensive formation, hands trembling slightly. Fear tempered by training instincts, screaming imminent danger. Entity silhouette flickers in peripheral vision. Elongated limbs, unnatural rhythm, impossible to track, panic flaring quietly. Young soldier trips over hidden mound, snow disturbed. Glance up, dark form moves closer, squad, bracing for first contact. Sniper fires, rounds thudding into trees. No hit, entity vanishing, leaving oppressive silence and pounding hearts in frozen forest. Medic attends fallen comrade, breath visible in frost. Shadow passes near, leaving unease etched into every nerve, taut and raw. Low growl echoes rising in intensity. Unseen predator movement, erratic, impossible to predict. Squad immobilized defensively. Branches swing violently, snow sprays around squad. Entity unseen yet omnipresent, closing distance, senses screaming caution. Frosted goggles fog rapidly, visibility hindered. Shapes twist form, fleeting, impossible to track, adrenaline surging violently. Youngest soldier freezes mid-step, shadows flit past. Entity circling, silent and calculated terror, embedding in every heart. Sniper fires last round, barrels shaking, aim frantic. Silhouette vanishes, leaving only snow disturbed and tension unrelenting. Sergeant calls, hand signals frantically, squad responds, perimeter tightening. Unseen threat pressing, fear escalating rapidly. Shadows converge in clearing snow, flying underweight. Entities approach, undeniable anticipation and dread merging sharply. Medic drops kit, rushing to assist, fallen glances up. Teammate gone, disappearing into darkness, echoes frozen in cold air. Snow disturbed violently around squad, footprints impossible. Entity moving with unnatural speed, surrounding, closing in silently. Branches crash, snow explodes, shadows twist unnaturally. Squad immobilized momentarily, fear coiled, ready to react instantly. Young soldier trembles, heart racing, breath shallow. Entity passes close, shape undefined threat, omnipresent terror, unyielding. Frost bites, deeper visibility, low snow, thick. Squad moves cautiously, defensive formation, tight. Awareness, acute tension, absolute. Dawn breaks over the forest, pale light filtering through frost-covered branches. Squad surveys, devastation, silence, heavy and cold. Bodies lie strewn across snow, some partially obscured. Frost-biting stillness, oppressive grief settling over every survivor. Snow-disturbed footprints, scattered rifle barrels cracked and frost-covered. The aftermath of chaos imprinted in frozen terrain. Sergeant counts remaining squad members, expression taut. Few survive, their faces, pale eyes hollow from shock and fear. Medic moves cautiously among the fallen, checking vitals. Some lifeless, some barely breathing, tension thick in morning air. Frosted breath rises, mingling with smoke from spent rounds. Acrid scent hangs, mingling with silence of forest aftermath. Snow crunches under careful steps, squad collects gear. Rifles packs ammunition, scattered reminders of sudden violent assault. The youngest sits shivering, staring blankly at fallen comrade. Silence speaks volumes, grief, unspoken tension lingering. Branches hang low, snow-laden, distorted shadows stretching across clearing. Frozen remnants of battle etched in cold air. Sniper inspects weapon, frost clinging to barrel, hands shaking slightly. Adrenaline subsiding, reality of losses sinking in. Sergeant signals to regroup, eyes scanning surroundings. Entity absent, now only traces of terror remaining in disturbed snow. Snow disturbed in chaotic lines, footprints erratic. Evidence of entity's presence clear, haunting, impossible to ignore. Medic checks remaining ammo, distributes carefully. Survival now paramount, every detail critical for fragile continuation. Shadows cast long, so by early sun, forest still oppressive. Squad moves slowly, grief and fatigue weighing heavily on every step. Fallen comrades partially obscured by snow, rifles dropped. Silence presses, reminder of sudden, inexplicable carnage endured. Frosted goggles fog slightly as soldiers scan area. Eyes meeting, unspoken acknowledgement of losses, morale fragile, but intact. Snow-covered ground littered with broken gear, spent rounds. Tactical reality and human cost starkly juxtaposed, unbearable tension. Young soldier gingerly steps over a body, frost crunching. Internalizing chaos, trembling, attempting to maintain composure. Sniper checks perimeter, cold wind biting. Instinct remains sharp, yet the mental toll of carnage evident in every movement. Sergeant calls for inventory, pack by pack, weapon by weapon. Methodical process amidst emotional exhaustion, discipline retained. Frost settles on rifles, packs, gloves. Breath visible in air. Survival, tangible losses, raw morning, cold and unforgiving. Medic attends minor injuries among survivors, finger steady, subtle acts of care preserving life, sanity in chaos. Snow patterns reveal entity movement from night before. Footprints, scuffs, inexplicable marks haunting each step forward. Youngest shivers, uncontrollably staring at open expanse. Realization of isolation, remaining squad count painfully low. Branches snap underweight as squad moves cautiously. Forest seemingly aware, silence, heavy memories of attack lingering. Frost-coated helmets gleam in morning sun. Squad pauses, mentally accounting for both physical and emotional toll endured. Sniper surveys, horizon eyes scanning for unseen threat. Tension remains vigilance, unbroken despite exhaustion and fear. Sergeant nods silently, regrouping survivors. Eyes hollow yet determined cohesion. Tenuous spirit tested by terror endured. Snow crunches as squad moves towards safer terrain. Body's broken gear disturbs snow, testify to violence of prior night. Dawn fully illuminates forest pale light, revealing scars of chaos. Survivors carry grief, fear, and resolve as mission continues. Snow lies undisturbed over the forest's scattered footprints, hinting at gaps. Unanswered questions press, haunting every surviving squad member silently. Squad pauses, scanning empty terrain. Evidence scattered, entity presence implied, yet its nature remains obscure, tension lingering in minds. Frost clings to abandoned rifles, packs left behind. Forest holds secrets, memories fragmented, incomplete, chilling thoughts of all survivors. Shadows twist unnaturally as wind whispers through trees. Minds replay fragmented events, missing pieces impossible to reconcile fully. Sergeant reviews sparse notes, lines of tracking faded. Reports partially blacked out, anomalies, unexplained unease, gnawing at everyone's focus. Youngest soldier stares at disturbed snow, thought racing. Unanswered questions press down, forest refusing to reveal true events endured. Broken branches scuff snow, inexplicable tracks. Silent witnesses of unknown threat, leaving questions the squad cannot answer or solve. Medic gathers remnants of first aid kits, frost-covered bodies nearby. Chaos reconciled, only partially, minds strained under haunting pressure. Peripheral glimpses of motion linger in memory, real or echoes of terror, shadows imprinted in thought, undefined yet haunting every moment. Snow-covered clearing seems empty, yet disturbance persists. Traces of entity remain, defying comprehension, anxiety pressing into chests. Sniper inspects rifle's, breath rising in mist. Hands tracing frozen stock, replaying encounters, wondering what entity truly was, fear unresolved. Maps marked with red annotations, lines incomplete, missing sections. Anomalies unexplained, each mark a silent reminder of uncertainty endured. Shadows in peripheral vision twist endlessly. Unanswered, undefined, gnawing at logic and reason of surviving squad members continuously. Frost settles on helmet cams, recordings incomplete, some events lost. Blacked out frames leaving haunting gaps, memory fractured and vivid. Sergeant observes the terrain expression, taut eyes scanning. Pieces of encounter do not fit, leaving tension, unresolved questions unasked. Disturbed snow along ridge lines, footprints intersecting strangely. Origin unknown, impossible shapes. Mental strain rising quietly in minds. Medic kneels beside fallen hands, frozen in frost. Questions unasked, explanations, the absent memories vivid, yet incomplete, hauntingly clear. Youngest retraces, steps cautiously, tracks leading nowhere. Uncertainty pressing entity's true nature, eluding all thought, fear persistent. Shadows twist in morning light, snow, disturbed inconsistently. Minds replay night endlessly, wondering which moments were real or imagined. Frost forms on a fallen equipment, snow covering partial tracks. Evidence present, yet absent ambiguity, pressing heavily on perception of reality. Peripheral motion seems to linger, teasing sight. Entity presence implied, not confirmed, leaving thought unsettled, tension ever coiled. Sergeant reviews notes again, lines of data missing or redacted. Sequences blacked out, unanswered questions mounting, unease solidifying. Snow disturbed in random arcs, footprints incomplete. Forest keeps its secrets, leaving squad haunted, awareness never fully restored. Shadows flit along ridge, memory flickers. Unsure if real or imagined, fear entwined with rational thought, leaving voids in minds. Medic collects remaining gear, frost-covered and scattered. Evidence fragmented, narrative incomplete, unsettling cohesion of memory remains. Youngest pauses, scanning tree line, breath misting. Uncertainty thick, entity undefined, questions pressing into consciousness persistently. Snow patterns contradict, logic tracks intersect impossibly. Analysis fails, leaving voids, haunting gaps impossible to fill rationally. Frost clings to gloves, fingers trembling slightly. Every motion triggers recollection of gaps, unexplained phenomena, tension unbroken. Sergeant signals regroup, yet questions remain. Missing comrades, unexplained tracks, entity never fully understood, mental strain persists. Dawn spreads pale light over Ardennes clearing. Gaps in memory, missing data. Unanswered questions linger, forest and entity remain intact.